Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And hello to all my South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined in studio by the one and only Kate Fisher.
Hello.
Hello, Kate. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Just fabulous. Kate thought that the show started at 7, but that's okay. We're all here.
I was here at 3:30.
Well, you were like, so Kate yelled up stairs and said, "Oh, did anybody want anything for dinner? I'm going to order a sandwich." And so about 7 o'clock, I said, the show's at 6:15. We end at 7.
I'll be hangry by 7.
But you know what? We didn't change the clock here, so it says that it's 7:16 right now.
In my world, it's very much 8:16.
Yeah. So my cat woke me up at 3:45 this morning, and so I've been up ever since because she thinks that it is later. I don't even know. Is it supposed to be later, earlier, later? Later. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what day it is, but we're here.
We are.
We're working it.
Here somehow.
We are. Kate, you have joined me on the show before, but why don't you reintroduce yourselves to all of our listeners and so they can get to know you?
Yes, so I am Kate Fisher. I'm a full-time agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. We are obviously in Pembroke. I live in Hanson and very much involved in our inner community and our local boards for our realtor associations and kind of all of the community do. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and today's topic is going to get like a little personal, kind of.
Yeah. I know. You told me that you're putting in some of this personal stuff in here, too.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, it's just like sometimes people need real-life examples.
Yeah. And now that I have an accepted offer on a house and I'm sort of at the end, thank you, at the end of my home search journey, I think that this is a really great topic because I sort of went into it thinking like, okay, it doesn't have to be my forever home. I just want something sort of thing. So why don't you tell everybody what we're going to be talking about tonight because it was your idea.
So the topic tonight is your first home is just that, and that leaning on the premise of, you know, we all want the dream home. I had a client a couple months ago. She called it my for now home.
My for now home.
Yeah, my for now home. And she's like, I just want something for now. Like, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to need to do, like, extenuating renovations and like all the things. It was a tiny little 1-bedroom house, and she was perfectly happy with that. But
is that your sale that you had this year?
Hatch Street.
Yeah.
But that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
But it's tough because you want to go into the house with the beautiful kitchen and the open floor plan and, you know, beautiful bathrooms, but like life doesn't always work that way.
Yeah. I think it's weird. This is sort of a weird topic for me, only because when I first started my home search journey, so now a year and a half ago, I wasn't looking for a forever home. Not that I feel like I'm sort of in a forever, I'm in a interesting situation right now, but I was looking for something that like I can put in some work and, you know, maybe in a couple years if I'm in a different place in my life because I am purchasing this on my own that, you know, I would be moving on to the next.
Yeah.
Now I am purchasing something that like, yes, I can make some changes and make it my own, but like it's also a house that you can grow into.
Yeah.
So like it's not, it could possibly be like another person or like 20 dogs. If I wanted
it could be a lot of things.
It could be a lot of things, you know? So that was sort of the interesting part of my journey. Like towards the end of the past couple of houses that I looked at, I was looking at something that like I could sort of be in long term, but make it my own because there is not a lot out there. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
So to make that little adjustment in your home search journey brought me to where I am today, which is closing soon. So, you know, it's interesting that the topic is, you know, your first home doesn't have to be your forever home. It could, and that doesn't mean like, it could mean your first home is for 10 years. Like it could mean 2 years, 10 years,
hopefully
15,
more than a
but
year.
then maybe you go on to the next one or whatever, you know, but you're going to be talking about sort of your home journey as well. I mean, you're not actively looking for a house, but you have purchased homes in the past.
So we're on our second home and we're really lucky because the equity that we built in our first purchase, we were able to purchase our forever home, and we're on a cul-de-sac with 6 other houses, and everything in our house was not renovated. It's all purely 1984. And we've gone through this house one room at a time and just, you know, gone through the cosmetic updates, put in a kitchen that works for now. And then someday when the kids get big, I'll get my beautiful chef's kitchen with things I don't know how to use.
Yeah.
But
your husband better be listening to this show.
The sad part is my husband's a fireman, but he's also a general contractor. And so the things that I want to like actually happen, they take a really long time.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it's like, what can we do for now to make everyone happy, make everything efficient, make it pretty at least. But some of those things are like longer term end games. Like we haven't renovated our bathrooms, and I'm okay with that because I feel like design elements of bathrooms they change so often too. And I have little boys, so I'm not really worried about how the bathroom looks at this point until they're maybe a little bit older. But the reason I picked this topic is that a lot of people really, like, we're in a crunch where all the homes that are sitting on market are homes that need love. Yeah. Like, they need the paint, they need new cabinets, they need new flooring. And people are like, I can't do all that. Yeah. But it's actually not that bad. Like, there are some people that truly can't. Yeah. But paint goes a long way.
It really does. And again, I really only speak from my own personal experience, but the home that I'm purchasing, like, it has really great bones and it was taken care of really well. Yeah. You know, it's had one owner since the 60s. That's amazing. Know? So somebody who took care of their home and came from the mindset of like, if it wasn't broken, you didn't need to fix it type of thing. And I love that because now I get to go in and sort of put my own personal touch on it. Same. And yeah, there are some things that I want to do cosmetically, but like I said, I'm doing it on my own, and it's going to take a little while to be able to get there. But, like, again, it's just me, so I can live with it. Like, I don't mind looking at certain things. Like, I'm the only one who's going to be seeing it. Yeah. But, yeah, paint can go a really long way. Just, like, freshen it up, bring it back to sort of life, and make it your own little space.
Yeah. Paint, flooring. I mean, flooring is obviously not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive renovation to go into. Yeah. And the cost benefit there is you have these beautiful new floors. Same thing. They bring life to a room and make it feel entirely different. So there's all these like really small things, but when they add up visually to a lot of home buyers, they're overwhelmed. Yeah. So it's tough sometimes to get them in the mindset of these are all the things that you could do, and they're so easy, and they're like, that's not easy. And it's not for some people, but there's so many opportunities out there. So like I said, I felt like maybe we should, I'll get a little bit personal and share our story of our first really gross, nasty house.
Okay. So tell me about your first nasty, gross house.
Oh my goodness. It was a wild, wild time. My husband had just gotten on fire, and he needed to live in town, and we have 2 huge dogs, and I was like, we cannot live in an apartment in Braintree. Like, I can't walk both of these dogs who don't particularly like other dogs through a community filled with dogs. So I was like, we need a house.
Yeah.
There was one house in Braintree that was like in the line with what we could afford.
Yeah.
It was so gross. Like literally.
Gross how? When you say gross, what does it mean?
Okay, so this house, like literally you have the sidewalk and then it was like genuinely the foundation of our house. Mm-hmm. Like it was on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Across the street was also legitimately the train line. Mm-hmm. Like
yeah,
it was right there.
Yeah.
The inside, like they had animals living in all these rooms. Like you couldn't tell that there was people living there, to be honest. But there was like a parrot living in one room. Like there was just all of these wild things happening. Yeah. So my husband goes the first time, and I'm like, just go look at it. He goes and looks at it, and he's like, absolutely not happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shucks, we're moving to an apartment. It's going to be awful.
Oh, no.
It sat on market a couple weeks longer, and he went back, and he was like, okay, we can work with this. Because the condos were the same price.
Yeah.
So we were able to get the house for a little bit cheaper, so we paid $257,000 for that house.
Wow. And what year was this?
In Braintree. And 2015.
Okay.
2015.
It's a different beast.
It was a whole nother world.
Yeah.
I mean, $250,000 for a house.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that long ago, though, wildly. So we bought that house. We literally renovated one room at a time. Same thing. We were expecting the twins. So we did their room. Then we did our own bedroom, swapped to live into their room for a little bit. Did the bathroom upstairs, kind of. That one was a half job. And then eventually we were ready for them to come. We did nothing else. These cabinets were so gross. I have to show you the pictures tomorrow. Yeah. They're like, it was heinous. And I not once ever cleaned like the walls. I was like, this place is disgusting. I'm not cooking in here. Yeah. It was so bad. So we kept renovating. Shockingly enough, we had a couple calls to poison control over the first year of the twins' lives because Brendan, who was trying to renovate things and like do sheetrock and like plaster, is like, I think matches need plaster and I'm not sure what to do. Like all these, like, you can't plaster while you're taking care of kids. Like, it just can't happen. But we had, it was a fun renovation with two. We did the kitchen, but in the bathrooms downstairs, but that, again, took, like, a long time. Mm-hmm. Like, we had to save up the money to do it, and then we knew that we wanted to move on because we had grown out of the house. Yeah. And we got two kids, like, at the drop of a hat. Yeah. And you just, like, we were outgrowing everything. So then we started to renovate to sell, which is also kind of a crummy feeling because you're like, oh, it looks so nice now. Like, I don't even want to leave. Yeah. Well, you always say on the show, like, don't overdo it because, like, you know, maybe bring it up to now or whatever, but a lot of things, like, they trend for a little while and then they go back to something else or they go on to something else, you know. So it don't renovate your house. Like, if you're planning on leaving or selling, like, don't renovate your house into the way that, like, you want it to be because you will not be living that. Like, the point is not to live there anymore. Right. It has to be neutrals. It has to be something that people are gonna genuinely love. I remember he was doing, like, the niche over the sink in the kitchen. I was like, please don't do that. And he's like, why? It looks beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. And I was like, not everybody's going to like that. Like, you like it. Yeah. I personally don't like it. And he's like, no, people are going to love it. And I was just like, oh, my just stop it. God, like, the amount of time it's going to take you and like, no. So we renovated that one. It was a lot of really long nights. Mm-hmm. And it was all inside. With two babies. With two babies, yeah. It was all stuff we had to do inside. There was nothing outside, luckily. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest house in the world. It was all vinyl, so that maintains well. But then we put it on the market, and we weren't sure where we were going to go because there was very limited inventory in that year of 2018. Yeah. So I convinced him that it was a good idea to rent an apartment in Weymouth at Southfield Commons. Mm-hmm. And so we went on a summer vacation to Southfield Commons for 3 months, knowing that, like, when we found our forever home, we would be confident that we were making this decision not based on the fact that we needed a house, but based off of the fact that we truly found what we wanted, we loved it, and we were ready to move forward. Yeah. So we spent... Well, let's go back to what we sold the house for, because that's important, right? So we listed that house in April of 2018 for $389,000. Okay. It sold for $405,000. Wow, look at you. I mean,
yeah, and you bought it for $250,000.
So that's $148,000 profit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we had to pay our commissions, our legal fees, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, bottom line was $120,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that in the bank. We paid our rent for those 3 months or whatever. And the fun part is, in a lot of the leases for these type of complexes, you sign a 1-year lease, and if you want to get out of your lease, they charge you like $3,000, $5,000. It's probably more now. A fee for breaking it, of course.
Yeah.
But like to us, it was like a fee of knowing that was what was going to happen anyways. Like
Yeah.
that was the plan.
The plan was to leave.
Yeah, we can be here for a year and know that we have a place to live, but we also can go when we're ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we have $120,000 in the bank, and now we've built that equity. We've put in the time. We've done the painting, like put in all the sweat equity. It takes a few years. It doesn't just...
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. Although it took you, what,
overnight.
3 years between buying that and selling it?
That one was about 3 years. And a lot of long nights.
Yeah, again, with 2 babies.
And a lot of long nights. I mean, he's working 2 full-time jobs, essentially. I don't know how he even got that done. But the fun part about that is it really seems like tiresome when you're going into it. But, like, all these houses that need the love are such opportunities because they are literally how we, like, build wealth in real estate. Like, that $120,000... we can roll into a new property, put 20% down, not have to pay PMI. There's a million different things you can do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what did you do with that money?
So what did we do with that money?
What did you do with that money?
Well, we enjoyed the great summer at Southfield Commons. It was when they had like the airplane hangar, and you could go down there and have drinks. And there was
that's cool.
All the little fun shops and stuff. It was awesome. It was a great summer. But so we finally found a home on the little cul-de-sac, like I said. It was a colonial. I don't really love colonials, to be honest, but
why?
It's just so like boxy, and they're all kind of the same, and it's not my favorite. I enjoy character, but it was like the perfect location.
Yeah.
It's like they always say, like, buy the ugly house in the great neighborhood, because you can change the ugly house, but you can't change like the location of your house. Yeah. So it was a 4-bedroom colonial. It, like you said, was very well taken care of. Mm-hmm. There was wallpaper everywhere and multiple layers of it.
Was it different in every room?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like over the light switches and everything. Like it was perfectly aligned. It was impressive. And, you know, in the 90s, that was probably like...
Did it have like dark red walls anywhere? Yes. I just think, I can, that's what I think of when I think of a house that has wallpaper.
Yeah, there was a lot of green and a lot of the dark burgundy red.
Yeah.
So I was making PowerPoints every week of houses that I liked and the like pluses and minuses. Yeah. Like, this is how far it is to this friend's house or that friend's house, or this town has free kindergarten. Most of them do now, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
And I would literally make these PowerPoints every week, probably on Wednesday when most things come on market. And we would just kind of like giggle our way through them. And there was one week I was like, I'm going to show them all to you, but I already know which one I want. And he was like, so why don't you just show that one to me? And I said, well, I just feel like you should look at all of them. He's like, no, I just want to see the one that you want. So he looked at it and he was like, this is the same house that's been built 900 million times all over America. I know exactly what, like, the blueprint of it is, inside, outside, mechanics. It has a 2-car garage, so he was happy. There was a pool, nice back deck, and although every single room needed to be renovated, like, that's doable.
It had good bones.
It had good bones.
It had good bones.
The septic system was newer. Like, that's important.
Yeah. Because you didn't have septic in Braintree. Oh, no. Correct? Yeah.
No, you have town utilities, which are much cheaper, like town sewer, town water. Yeah. That part was amazing. But yeah, so he was like, just go buy it. So I went.
Just go buy it. Just go buy that house.
I went and looked at it.
Yeah.
He didn't come. And I called him and I was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And he was like, just waive the inspection. I'm not spending money for someone to tell me what I already know. And I was like, nobody did that then.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't really happen then.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, as long as you're comfortable with that. So we waived the inspection, and we got that house. We put in the offer for $400,000, which was, like, a lot for him.
Yeah.
And they called back and they said 5,000 more and it's yours. And I was like, okay, yep. Okay, we're good. I don't need to call them back. So we bought it and we moved in and we downy and hot watered all of the walls to pull off the wallpaper. And you can still kind of smell downy in my house sometimes, to be honest. It was a trip.
Yeah.
It was a trip, and it was almost like you just left this house that was fully renovated to move into another one that needs to be fully renovated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's wild times.
Yeah. So how long, are you still doing your renovations? Or how long?
Oh, yeah. They're ever going.
How long did it take you to get to the point, like, where you're like, okay, like, the big sort of things are done. Now it's just, like, the little, like, things that might bother you or things that you want to change.
So back to, like, being a general contractor's wife, nothing is ever finished. So most of the projects, although beautiful, there's always, like, something that still needs to be done.
Yeah.
But we did all the major things. We painted the outside of the house. We put in new windows. That was fun. We were doing that in the middle of me being pregnant with Cam. I was, like, 8 months pregnant, and he's putting in windows in the middle of the winter. He's like, if you wake up and you think the baby's coming, you need to tell me because I need to board these windows up. Like, this is very uncomfortable. I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But we replaced all of the windows. We did the flooring downstairs. And we have that really beautiful, I think it's pine.
Pine?
The
pine.
No,
a pine
it's
tree?
not pine, it's oak.
Oak tree?
We had, like, really nice oak floors. And I was like, oh, Brennan, I don't like these. And he's like, they're beautiful floors. What don't you like about them?
Yeah.
I was like, I want ones like we had in the other house. So we put those floors on top of the old floors in case someday I changed my mind.
Yeah.
And put padding in between them. Because those things come back. Like, there'll be a time where that type of flooring is trendy again and what I probably want, and he's just
you can refinish the red oak and like do like a like Sharon has red oak and she refinished her floors with a water base, so hers are light now. Like they're not like a rich red like they were before. Now if you do like a water base, I think it brings like the lighter color out. That's what she told me to do with my house.
Yeah. We slapped it right on. We painted.
Yeah.
We put in a good for now kitchen. The cabinets were legitimately being held up by, like, propane bottles, like the little tanks that you use for, like, a blowtorch.
Uh-huh.
We're holding up the shelves in the cabinets of the kitchen. It was a lot of fun. So we took those out and we put in, like, your simple Home Depot shaker cabinets and just made it bright and light and So your home ownership journey, with your husband has been you purchased a home because that you needed to be in a specific location. You purchased your second home because your lifestyle changed. You had 2 babies and then you got a third baby on the way with the second house. So your lifestyle also is changed. That is a factor, Oh yeah, 100%.
And like I said, like I'm purchasing my first home on my own. Who's to say that in 10 years my life is totally different and I have all these other people in my life, whether they're, big like me or little, you never know what your own personal journey is. Yeah. So your home ownership journey can change as well.
Yeah. And even like people say like, oh, my forever home, I'm staying here forever. Like I've already had 2 calls this month of people being like, that's it. We've outgrown it. Like, we need to find somewhere else. And I'm like,
yeah.
You guys. And they're like, nope, it's not going to work.
Well, especially, think about all the buyers that you have. How many buyers do you have that are, like, in my price range and are looking for, like, 2-bedroom houses that are, like, just starting off, like, with their lives?
Yeah.
They will outgrow it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But I think the stat is a forever home for most people ends up being 5 to 7 years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to cough. Yeah. 5 to 7 years.
5 to 7 years, yep.
I drank water too fast. Hold on.
Oh, my goodness. Slow it down.
Slow it down. I know. Yeah, well, I'm trying to slow my life down a little bit. I want to enjoy my house for a little while, but 5 to 7 years. Interesting. What, your life changes in 5 to 7 years, or you outgrow your house in 5 to 7 years?
It depends. Like, just most people's purchase of a forever home, they expect it to be forever, but it's generally 5 to 7 years is the overall trend of people selling.
I'm sorry. My mom
for
texted
a million
me.
Different
My
reasons.
mom texted me and said, little, like she wants little people to be living in my house. Okay.
Oh, not cats.
Yeah. I think I need a big person to live in the house with me first. So, yeah, I mean, your life does change.
Yeah.
Like, your life could change in an instant. So
Yeah.
to think that, you know, I don't know, I would be nervous looking for my forever home.
I mean,
because,
of course,
like,
because it's supposed to be forever.
Yeah.
And
nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Most things
But
don't
it's
last
really
forever.
hard because so many people with interest rates where they are and inventory where it is, people are like, I have to stay here. I can't go. Mm-hmm. It's either that or they're like, no, we need to leave. We don't care if rates are 20%.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the event that we went to or maybe it was sometime afterwards. I don't know. I was watching something or reading something. I don't know. I don't know where I was or where I am sometimes. But when I was watching this, it was like, you know, everyone's saying like, oh, nobody's selling their houses at the 2, 3, 4% interest rate. It's like, yes, they are. They are selling their houses, even though they have such a great interest rate because their lives have changed.
Yeah, and
like
for a million different
that's
reasons.
something. Yeah, that's something that they can't change. That their life is changing. So like they need to move on to something else, or I don't know. People are selling their houses that have the low interest rates. So we need to stop saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I just literally am putting one on the market tomorrow. That they have a 2.75, and they're walking into like a 6.75.
Yeah,
but again, they've outgrown their house and they need a space for additional family members to be able to come in to caretake for them too. So, I mean, life changes for a million different things. Loss of a loved one, divorce, more babies, so many different things.
Yeah.
I mean, you could meet that big person and they could have a house too.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, what do we
do with, you know,
somebody
one
has
of us
to ditch their house, so we both ditch our houses and we go buy one that's suitable for what we want our life to look like.
Yeah.
So people are always going to be selling. It's just a matter of like finding those equity opportunities where you can make sure that you're going to have a leg up in that next purchase.
Yeah. I think it's important to sort of touch upon like the value of a starter home. So like we say like the starter home, it's like your first home. There is value in that because there are a lot of buyers right now and that have been buying for the first time where they are putting the love and the money and the you know everything into these homes and then they are selling them for a profit. But like I hate to say that, like I don't want to say it the wrong way, so I don't want to word it that way. So they are putting in the work that is needed into these homes, and that's why they're selling them, making a profit. But that's you know all about purchasing and selling your first home because you're not in your forever home. It's okay to not look for your forever home.
Yeah, you could have a just for now home.
Just for now.
Yeah.
Just for now home. Anything else about like, and I want to give you the opportunity to talk about your new listing too, and we will get to that. We will get to that. But you know, we have about like 15 minutes left in the show. But what else do you want to say about your sort of home journey?
All right. So everyone's talking about like you can just refi later.
Yeah.
Date the, what is it? Buy the house,
marry
the house,
marry
date the rate.
Yeah, marry the house, date the rate.
I really dislike that saying. But
and why do you dislike that saying?
I just feel like, I mean, refinancing does cost money. It's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And generally,
it's not free.
Your payment at the end of the day is going to be substantially lower generally, or a good amount lower. That's why you're doing it. But when you say like marry the house, date the rate, it almost feels like you're saying it's just free.
Yeah.
Like refinancing
just move on to the
free.
next one.
Yeah, it's like, you can refi later, but there is paperwork that goes through. And
there's closing costs.
You have to make sure you keep your credit where it
Yeah.
should be and do all of those
yeah.
fine-tuned things. So we purchased that new house in 2018 at a 4-ish% interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
And the next year, 2019, is when things got really spicy.
Yeah, it was a spicy year. It was a good thing that you purchased that house in 2018.
It sure was. So in the winter of 2019, it was December actually, we decided to refinance at the 2.75 rate.
Yeah.
And my husband is a veteran, so we always utilize the veteran benefit for his VA loan. And we were refining to do our windows, pay off student loans, like just be able to have some of the cumbersome things done and over with.
Yeah.
So we took the refi out at $465, which was originally bought for $425. Paid off my student loans, purchased the windows, and our payment was $300 less a month.
Yeah. Wow.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, just from that simple, like, point and a half down. Like, it was crazy, the difference.
Yeah.
That you were able to literally pay off all those, like, student loans are the worst.
Well, yes, they are. And, again, on my home journey, when I was first pre-approved with Jasmine, she's been on the show a million times, but, you know, when I was first pre-approved, it was at, you know, a certain interest rate. And, like, I think my first offer that I put in, the interest rate, like, was 4.5%. And then maybe it, like, crept up into the 5s, and because I was like, all right, here's my budget monthly.
Yeah.
And
like,
now I have exceeded that. A year and a half later, I'm like, I've exceeded that.
Yeah,
but you know what? It you know.
That's the hard part of, like, buying power. It's like
$400,000
a year and a half ago was, like, so much less a month.
Yeah.
Than $350,000.
Yeah, I was looking up
now.
to like 425 with like a let's just say 5%, 5.5 maybe interest rate. And, you know, I think at one point when I was talking to her, one of the offers or whatever, it like my monthly payment was going to be like $2,000 or something. And I'm just like, yeah, that's, you know, that was then, and this is now.
Yeah, I should have just dove into that
into that.
It's so hard because I feel like I say this a lot. Like, full disclosure, I don't want to sell you a house to sell you a house.
Yeah.
I just want you to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like, this is my thought process behind why I'm explaining the situation to you this way. Because it's like, we're not out there, like, selling knives door to door, like magazine subscriptions or something like that. Like, it
Mary
like
Kay.
Genuinely like makes me happy to like get someone into that first home. Like, that's my favorite. It's like first time home
buyers are your favorite.
They're just like so grateful and happy, and they want to be educated about what's happening, and it's new for them. And like for someone to trust you with all of that, like it's an honor, really.
It really is.
And it's a big deal. So it is one of my favorite things to do because that's just like the happiest part of somebody's life.
So when it comes to your first-time home buyers, what are they really looking for? Are they looking for forever homes? Are they looking for starter homes? Are they looking for something that they can put equity into? Like, what are your clients looking for?
So this year, I'll speak on this year specifically. This year, I've had a ton of single ladies who don't want to rent anymore and they don't want to live at home.
Yeah.
And they want to just do it on their own, which as they should, power to them.
We hear you.
But a lot of them were last year in your position where they had $425 to spend, and now they're down to like $350, and it's impossible
with a higher interest rate and a higher monthly payment.
So they weren't looking for anything more than something that was livable, pretty, because it was just them, and was a payment that they could afford. And then from the family dynamic, all those guys have just been growing out of their houses. Yeah. So they need to move on too.
And they'll be calling you.
I got that call this week. It's my favorite call.
Oh, it is.
We need a bigger house. Okay.
I can find you one. I can find you one.
We can find you one. So we'll finish up with my little story. But so the equity as of today in that purchase, so the Zillow machine and the Redfin machine, which is not ever accurate, but we're just
you should do a CMA on
today.
your own house. Good. You should.
I don't know if
I want to give you that homework.
I'm not allowed to ever leave.
Well, Sharon does it on her house, and she's never leaving her house.
Friends, like, you can buy some shack on the beach and you can stay there, but I'm never leaving.
Yeah,
that's fine with me.
My challenge to you is do a CMA, so you really know what your equity is.
Well, Redfin says it's worth $673, which I think is like on par, but that would give us $250,000 in equity. So, like,
since 2018.
Yeah, that's not a long time.
Yeah.
And to think about, like, the things that we have done, they're, like, again, making it light and airy and fresh. They're not, like, grandiose.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't you have a she shed or something?
We do. Well, it's a 3-season porch.
Oh, okay.
We call it the she shed. It used to just have, like, you know how screen doors have, like, the screen on the top and the bottom is just, like, the sides used to just be those. Like, but they somehow managed to secure them all together, so it, like, screened in the whole porch. But Brendan was at Cape Cod Lumber one day, and he called me, and he was like, they have windows, and they need to be gone today, and they would fit in the she shed. And I was like, I'm going to trust you on this one. And he brought them home, and they're like floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, I've seen your pictures. Like when you post them on your story and stuff, like, I'm in my she shed, working in the she shed.
It's the best. It's turned into more of a we shed.
Is it with the kids or is it with Brennan?
Honestly, all of the above. Like, all of the above. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of use, like, a real life example of, like, if we wanted to sell tomorrow because we outgrew our house or circumstances had changed, like, we now have that in our back pocket of we could put this money down on our next house and be able to have, you know, the wealth built to do that.
Yeah. And that, I mean, how great does that feel? I know that you said that you're in your forever home, but, like, how great does it feel that, like, if for some reason you needed to move, you would have the ability to do that because of the great work that you've done in your home?
Yeah, it does.
The security. It gives you security.
It's pretty cool to be, like, we both grew up in families that, like, my mom and dad didn't own a house, so we were much older. Yeah. So it's nice to know that, like, you learned the lessons to do the right things. Yeah. And just to kind of build that for your kids and to show them that those are things that we can do and be able to kind of guide a path for how you can do those things. Because the how is such a difficult part of even starting. You know, you have people that come and want to buy, but they have no idea where to even start because no one in the family's ever done it before.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great lesson for your kids, and just to, like, have that sort of financial stability to be like, okay, this is how you do it, and plus you have the knowledge, you're in the industry, so that helps. Were you always in real estate during your home purchase journey?
No. So actually, when we purchased the first home, gosh, where was it? That was 2015. No, I owned a tanning salon. Oh. I had just left. Well, I had left here like 2 years before. Because I was originally here at Boston Connect Real Estate. And then I went to go work at John Hancock in Boston. Mm-hmm. And I had several different positions there, but most were in a financial advisory position where I was essentially the liaison, if you will, between clients and their advisors. So I am actually, like, technically a not certified financial planner, but I still have all my securities licenses. So
nice,
no big deal.
You know numbers.
No big deal. I still have those and I keep them, but no, I was definitely in finances, so I knew like what the right thing to do was. But now it's like
and it helps to have somebody who can work on your house too.
Yeah. Oh no, that's definitely. I know it sounds easy when I say it, but honestly, like, there's stuff that, like, we don't want to do either. Yeah. And we will find someone to do that, hopefully. And, like, trading, everybody knows an electrician or HVAC person. Like, if you or your spouse are
You're in the trades, you'll always have a job.
Yeah, like, trade with friends.
Yeah. Barter.
Frame my basement. I'll paint your kitchen, your living room. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Go back to the old days.
Yeah. You gotta barter.
Had to trade for
I have a skill. Do you have a skill?
Corn.
Figured it out. Corn.
Cheese and all the things.
I like corn. Corn's got a bad rap, but I like corn.
I like creamed corn.
Oh, yeah, we're not the same.
Such a weird... With mashed potatoes. Oh,
I do like mashed potatoes and corn, but not creamed corn.
So good.
So we only have about 5 minutes left in the show. I want to give you an opportunity to sort of wrap up this and let everybody know about your new listing. So anything else you want to talk about when it comes to your first home is just that.
I want everyone to have an open mindset about opportunity. Yeah. Because life is scary. And sometimes the most exciting things feel really scary.
Yeah.
And sometimes excitement.
Yeah, life is scary, but home ownership doesn't have to be. And I'm like this week, it's like I'm getting all of the final stuff ready. And I'm like, I said to Jasmine, and then I said it to Sharon today, I was like, I didn't realize like how much of an adult I wasn't until this week. Like this week, I'm like calling this person, I'm on this person, I'm getting this document. I'm so deep in my finances that I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, what?
Goodness.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm taking tomorrow off to like get it all together, get it all situated, get my part all done, putting it in the hands of everybody else. Yeah. And just, getting to the closing table. But I'm like, I got, and we said it this morning because Trish Flynn, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she does this thing every Tuesday. It's an accountability meeting. And I stood up, everybody was saying like, when you're buying a house, you got to take some time off of work. And I was like, I'm taking time off. I need to take time off to get it done. Like, you guys got to figure it out because I do have to take some time off. But
I'm glad you're doing that.
Thank you.
It's necessary.
So you have a new listing.
I do.
Can you tell everybody about it, or?
I mean, it comes out in the morning, so I think I can.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Awesome. So my new listing is 16 Three Rivers Drive in Kingston.
Nice.
It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath colonial.
Mm-hmm.
She's not brandy new, but she's very young. She's 2014 it was built in. It's in a really large neighborhood in Kingston, so lots of like walkability and friends to make, if you will. Yeah. Great yard, fully fenced in. The kitchen is beautiful. The living room has great cathedral ceilings. There's a lot of elements to it that are going to make a buyer, like, it's going to be a certain type of buyer.
Okay.
But they're like these cool details, so I'm excited about it. So these guys, they grew out of their house, so they need a new one. 2-car garage. She comes on tomorrow, and we're listing it at $689.
$689. Give the address one more time.
Yeah, it's 16 Three Rivers Drive in Kingston, and we will have open houses Saturday 10 to 1 and Sunday 10 to 12.
To 12. And how can people get in touch with you if they want to see that listing, if they want to see any other listing, if they want to get an analysis on their home,
if they want to talk about renovations,
if you want to talk about anything,
or renovations not to do before selling, you can reach me by phone at 781-820-8932. Again, that's 781-820-8932, or they can email me, Kate at bostonconnect.com.
Okay. You can get all of our contact. Yeah, carrier pigeon. You can get all of our contact information at bostonconnect.com. And you also do so much for the community as well. Like, you're just always doing something, whether it's something for your clients or giving back to the community. You're always a part of something, and I think that that's great to see. We are doing a little, I know I'm not really supposed to be promoting it because it's like an agent thing, but we are doing Pictures with Santa.
So we already have a million people coming.
We already have a million people coming. But if you have a realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, you should come and have your picture taken with Santa. It is going to be on Saturday, November 25th from 9:30 to 12:30. So if you've been to our event in the past, it is so great. We love it. We have such a great time. And Santa himself from the North Pole is here, but be sure to sign up. If you have an agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate, you are invited. Again, how can people get in touch with you, Kate?
781-820-8932 or Kate at bostonconnect.com.
Okay. Top tip for tonight.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Go
for what?
Whatever it is. Go for it. Go for the house that's ugly in the best location that you desire.
Yeah. You make a list.
Yeah.
Chip away at that list.
Yeah, chip.
And then get to like the core things that you are really looking for. Personal experience. Once I am closed and it's signed, sealed, and delivered on record, I'm doing a show on my journey as well. So stay tuned.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, and I will tell you where to start. Again, bostonconnect.com for all of our contact information. Be sure to follow us on social media. Talk Real Estate Roundtable. We're live every Tuesday night and Saturday morning, so be sure to listen.
At 6:15.
6:15, not 7.
Not 7.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening.